Wow, I can't believe we actually made it to the end of the MLB season in 2020. So much was going against us at the beginning of the year, whether it was the players not wanting to play or the owners not wanting the players to play or whatever the case may be, a global pandemic, but we have made it to the end. So today's video, I am going to be talking about the bracket, the expanded postseason. This is going to be a complete crapshoot, in my opinion, but I did want to make this video for you guys. I'm really excited for the postseason. The Cardinals barely snuck in, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But guys, these are just my opinions and who I think are going to make a deep playoff run and eventually become World Series champions of this 2020 abbreviated season. Such a strange year, too. I hope you guys do enjoy. If you do, hit that like button. That is the main way you can help support the content here on the channel. If you're new and enjoy the content, of course, hit that subscribe button because I'm coming out with sports and sports card content almost every single day of the week. So yeah, with all that out of the way, let's get into this one. All right, so we are on MLB.com right now. Very cool thing they're doing this season. Because of the expanded postseason, they're doing kind of a March Madness kind of thing. So that's really awesome to see. I really like that they're doing this. If you get every single pick correct, you get entered to win $100,000. So that's pretty sick. But yeah, anyways, let's get into this. First thing, we are going to start off with LA and Milwaukee, starting out in the NL. The Dodgers, one of the best teams this season. They were my beginning of the season pick to make it to the NL championship game. If you guys didn't see that video, you guys can check that up right out there. But the Brewers team batting average is 25th in the league. Not very good at all. Of course, Christian Yelich is basically having his worst season of his career. Meanwhile, the Dodgers got Kershaw, Buehler, and even Dustin May. I think they are definitely going to take this one. And, of course, they have one of the best bullpens as well this season. So I definitely think Dodgers win this one. These are 3-game series, so I think the Dodgers win this one 2-0. Next up, we have San Diego and my St. Louis Cardinals. Slam Diego, of course, high-powered offense. And if Mike Clevenger and Lamet can come back, I definitely think that they're going to have the upper hand in the pitching department. So I really, it pains me to say this, but I personally do believe that even though I am a Cardinals fan, I can't pick them. I cannot pick them. The Cardinals have the 22nd ranked offense in all of baseball, like a 234 batting average, just not good. I think this one could go to 3, but I do think the Padres will overtake the Cardinals in that 3-game series. Next up, holy smokes, did anybody believe that these two teams were going to be in the playoffs? I certainly did not. The Marlins, they were buyers at the trade deadline, which has not been a thing since basically the early 2000s. But yeah, we got the Cubs versus Marlins. Kyle Hendricks and, of course, Yu Darvish. Yu Darvish had a great season. I thought he was going to implode at some point, but he didn't. Cubs offense has been just good enough to scrape by and win the NL Central. Marlins really don't have any postseason experience. Sixto Sanchez, of course, has looked pretty good in his rookie season, but I am going to pick the Chicago Cubs on this one. It pains me to say that the Cubs are going to get further into the postseason than the Cardinals, but I mean, I got to look at this objectively. Next up, we have the Braves and the Reds. This series might be the most unpredictable of the entire NL side of the bracket, mostly because both of these teams are kind of complete opposites and do different things well. Of course, the Braves offense is just littered with firepower. Marcell Ozuna, I can't believe the Cardinals got rid of him. And Freddie Freeman, of course, leading that squad in home runs. And Adam Duvall kind of came out of nowhere, really picked up the bat and has been swinging a hot stick all season, basically. On the flip side of that, though, you got the front runner for the NL Cy Young, in my opinion, in Trevor Bauer, and that front of that rotation for the Reds is just insanely good. So it's kind of a battle of opposites. You kind of got the front runner for the NL Cy Young and the front runner for the NL MVP and Freddie Freeman and Trevor Bauer. But at the end of the day, I do believe that the Reds have a chance to upset here because of their pitching. They need their bats to come alive a little bit, but pitching and defense wins championships, so I'm going to stick with that. As long as Trevor Bauer stays away from his drones, I do suspect him to win his start, so I will be picking the Cincinnati Reds. As we move to the AL side of the bracket, we've got Tampa Bay versus Toronto. Yes, Toronto has been a little bit better than I anticipated them to be. However, Tampa Bay is right exactly where I thought they'd be at the end of the season. You know, Brandon Lau has been insanely good this season. And you got Blake Snell, Tyler Glass now as some great starters for the Rays. I don't think the Blue Jays are there yet to be able to overtake what is, in my opinion, a heavy favorite in the Tampa Bay Rays, so I do have them advancing, though this one could go 3 games. Next up, we've got the Cleveland Indians and the New York Yankees. Bieber versus Cole. What a great matchup the first game. This one is going to be a fun one to watch. You got Luke the Nuke Voit for the Yankees, who's been playing out of his mind this season, leading the MLB in home runs. And then you've got the amazing pitching staff of the Cleveland Indians. Jose Ramirez could be a front runner for the MVP. And of course, you got Shane Bieber, probably the pick for Cy Young, could even win MVP, people are saying. But at the end of the day, I do believe it will be the Indians advancing. Sorry, Yankees fans, don't kill me in the comments section. Next up, we've got Minnesota and Houston, the Twins and the Astros. As much as I would like to pick the Astros to win this one, no, not because I'm an Astros fan or anything like that. I picked them at the beginning of the season to advance to the World Series, but obviously their season just did not come together. They were one of the worst teams to make the playoffs this year, and I just think there's too much firepower on the Twins team. I constantly overlook the Twins in terms of how good they are. They had the most home runs again this season. Nelson Cruz is going to crack maybe 3 home runs in this series. And I really do think that the Twins are going to head on to the ALDS. Another fun series. Athletics, a whole lot of postseason experience. White Sox, you know, I think the White Sox may have surprised some people. I know they definitely surprised me. I thought that they were going to be a couple years out of making the playoffs, but expanded playoffs lets them in this season. You know, of course, they have Jose Abreu, who has a shot at winning the MVP in the AL. And, of course, you got Eloy and Luis Robert, Lubob hitting ham sandwiches. But in this one, I just cannot go against the playoff experience A's. I definitely think Liam Hendricks and even Jesus Luzardo, who pitched brilliantly in the postseason last year, I just think that the A's are going to have their number, so I have them advancing to the next round. All right, in the NLDS, we got the Dodgers, Padres. This is going to be a fun matchup, a lot of firepower on offense, and even though Slam Diego was in this bracket able to power past my Cardinals, I do not think they are going to get past this just amazing pitching staff for the Dodgers. Of course, the Dodgers have a stacked lineup as well, so I think that in 5 games, the Dodgers will advance. Next up, we have the battle of the NL Central. We've got the Cubs, the Reds. Like I said earlier, the Cubs offense has been pretty anemic this season. Nothing to write home about. Yes, they have Kyle Hendricks and Yu Darvish, but I do think as we get later and later into the postseason, pitching matters. And it doesn't get much better than Trevor Bauer, Luis Castillo, and Sonny Gray. I just can't see the Cubs getting past those big 3. So for that reason, I actually have the Reds advancing to meet the Dodgers in the NLCS. Back on over to the ALDS, we got the Rays and the Indians. The Rays, in my opinion, the Rays were the most well-rounded team in the AL. And like I said, the Indians, though, yes, they do have one of the best pitching staffs in all of MLB. I do think that the Rays are going to be able to eke this one out. So I have the Rays advancing. This one, again, could go 5 games. Next up, a very fun matchup. We got the Twins firepower against the Athletics. The Athletics are just a team that has been in the playoffs time after time, just can't really put it all together. I think the Twins are going to be able to muscle past them yet again and make the ALCS against the Rays. All right, so on to the NLCS. We got the Dodgers, we got the Reds. Unfortunately, this is where the Reds story comes to an end. You know, they started off really, really slowly in the regular season, and they finished real hot. But I do think the Dodgers just probably the best overall team throughout the regular season, and I do have them advancing to the World Series. Last series before we get to the World Series, this is going to be the Rays and Twins. This is going to be a tough one. I think that the fact that the Twins have got Kenta Maeda, who has been playing lights out, Jose Barrero, and even throw in Randy Dubnak, I think that they have the slight edge just because their bullpen is very good. They got Sergio Romo and Taylor Rogers combining saves all season long. It's been really good for them. Yeah, you got Nick Anderson there for the Rays, and the Rays do have a really good bullpen as well. But at the end of the day, I think that Twins offense is just going to be too much for the Rays. I have the Twins advancing maybe 6, maybe even 7 games. And in the World Series, we've got the Dodgers and Twins. Dodgers, best overall team in the MLB basically all season. They're going to be the favorites in this one. And then you got the Twins, great pitching staff, and all their hitters can hit the long ball. I think like 4 players on their team had 13 home runs or more. They led the AL in home runs yet again. But at the end of the day, I think Clayton Kershaw is not going to choke. He's going to be able to change his entire legacy with this one. You are not going to be able to beat the Dodgers 4 out of 7 games. And for that reason, I do have the Los Angeles Dodgers winning the World Series for the 2020 season. Short, yes. Is it as meaningful? Maybe not. Either way, congrats to the LA Dodgers. So yeah, there you have it. Congrats to the Los Angeles Dodgers, the team I picked at the very, very beginning of the season. Before the season started, I'm excited to see how this season really does turn out. If you guys did enjoy this one, again, hit that like button. And if you're new here, you dig it, hit that subscribe button and the post notification bell icon so you don't miss a single one of my videos. I appreciate you all. This has been an awesome, short, abbreviated, weird season for the MLB, but it's been fun. The Cardinals have been off and on almost all season. I feel like they win 2 games, then they'd lose 2 games, and back and forth all year. So again, congrats to the Dodgers and their fans finally overcoming the hump. I do think Clayton Kershaw will have a huge game in the World Series. We shall see though. Thanks guys for watching. I appreciate you all. And until tomorrow, I will see you all in the next one.